I'm making one video for every day in July, and this is the 25th video, and it is August, so I'm a little bit behind on getting to my 31 videos, but I'm finishing up expeditiously now, and I'm just going to talk about an event that I did last week, last Wednesday night. About 70 people came to Fractal Tech in Brooklyn, and I gave a presentation, a condensed presentation on the American founding era from 1763 to roughly 1803, and I wore this hat, and it was a great time. So, I mean, people arrived, we had snacks, socializing. I did my presentation, went back to snacks and socializing. Why did I do the event? Well, number one, clearly people are interested, and it was a good time. So I just wanted to have a good time, but also because pretty much no one knows what happened in the American founding. Many people sort of, if you don't ask them, they might walk around vaguely thinking, I kind of know what happened. But no. And the story of the American founding is not only more surprising, but I think more heartening than a lot of people would expect. And getting into the actual details of what really happened and who was really involved and what were the choices they faced and how did they act in the face of constraint. How did they act in the face of stated ideals when things got tough, etc., etc. I think it makes you more proud that you came from those people than you would expect. But also because there are way more people who were there than you would expect. So I think behind me, yeah, right there, I had that portrait. That's Mercy Otis Warren. She was a revolutionary. She lived from 1728 to 1814, and in 1805 she published a history of the revolution. And she was a very consequential figure, was in correspondence with everyone you would have heard of, like John Adams, and was very good friends with him and Abigail. She wrote a prominent anti-federalist pamphlet during the discussion about whether or not we should ratify the Constitution. Anyway, she was very involved in both organizing and the intellectual development of the age. And so after I gave my technical presentation, like here's the rough timeline, here are the 4 rough eras of the founding era, or 4 sub-eras of the founding era, then I went back over that with stories from Mercy Otis Warren and her life and what she thought about things, pulling from her history. Pardon me. So it was a great event. I'm going to do another one on the American Civil War. I haven't picked who my, contemporary, it's always the other way. I haven't picked my person yet. I'm working on it, but a lot of people liked Mercy Otis Warren. Pretty much no one had heard of her. I mean, if you've studied the Revolution in college, or if you're an academic, you definitely know who Mercy Otis Warren is, what she did, what her impact was. If you don't know who she is, it is definitely worth looking her up, and I'll link to a post that I wrote about her. Her story is inspiring. She was a brilliant intellect, well worth knowing. But also, when you think of people in the American founding era, you don't necessarily think about people who might be named like Mercy Otis Warren, but there's a ton of them. There's a bazillion of them. The world was much more interesting, dynamic, pulling in way more different kinds of characters than one would expect in the founding era. So, cool event. There's going to be another one on the Civil War, maybe in about a month, and I think my goal is I'm going to do maybe 6 or 7 of these for all of American history up to the modern day. What's the point? Like the operational point? Well, of course, there's a limit to what you can tell in maybe like an hour long. Someone gives you an hour, what can you tell about the American Revolution? You can't incorporate every perspective, every piece of detail. You can't qualify everything. You can't present every nuance. But can you tell the basic story? Do you know the basic story? If someone came up to you and said, I have 30 minutes, tell me the story of the American founding. Or maybe what if they said, I have 2 hours, tell me the story of America. Could you do it? I think that's a great story to know. It completely changes your life if the robust contours of it live in your head. It changes how you look at everything around you. It changes how you regard it. I think it tends to change it for the better. But also in your own social sphere, whenever someone talks about American history, you would be able to tell that story, and probably you'd be able to set them on firmer footing. And also, just as an American, wouldn't it be gratifying to know the history of your own country? Similarly, as a New Yorker, wouldn't it be gratifying to know the history of your city, of your state? Yes, certainly. I think it's a self-legitimizing good requiring no explanation. But also, there are many utilitarian reasons for wanting to know too. So, that's it. It was a fun event. There's going to be another one.